Who are we as human beings? What are our deepest desires, wants, ratzon, the things we truly aspire to, want and be as human beings? Interestingly, this question about the meaning of life, what it means to be human, was debated by what has become known as the three great Viennese schools of psychiatry. Three, as it turns out, Jewish psychiatrists, all very well known, the greatest psychiatrists of the modern era who delve into this problem. The first, of course, perhaps the most famous, Sigmund Freud. What did he say at the turn of the century, of the 20th century? He said, what a human being desires more than anything is love. And therefore the corollary of that is sex and sexuality. And that's why sexuality is so core to the human condition. And therefore when there are frustrations with sex and all this type of thing, love gone right or gone wrong, all types of phenomena and frustrations develop, as he famously says, the Oedipus complex, which all these complexes around the desire for love or lack thereof. His great student, Professor Alfred Adler, says no, it is not sexuality and love that a person desires more than anything. It is acknowledgement. It is respect, that people see us, that we're not invisible, that we have respect, we have honor, and we are seen, validated, and acknowledged by others. And therefore, when that goes wrong, he famously says what has become known as the inferiority complex. When we feel inferior and we're not seen and we're not who we would like to be and acknowledged as such, it comes with all types of psychiatric and psychological challenges. But the third, which I think is the closest to Torah values, the other two, there's something to it, of course, love and sexuality, honor, respect, and validation are critically important. But the third Viennese school, of course, is Viktor Frankl, survivor of the Holocaust, a student of the above two, and he says, Professor Frankl says, of course, at core of humanity is our search for meaning. A person wants to feel that their life is meaningful, it's valuable, that we are making a contribution uniquely through our unique personality to the world. And indeed, says Rav Kook, based on Psukim in this week's Parsha, the essence of teshuvah, the essence of our lives as human beings, is a deep yearning for godliness. It says in this week's Parsha, Ki karov eilecha davar me'od, ki ha-mitzvah hazot. We always read Parshat Nitzavim before Rosh Hashanah. It's got the famous Parshat of Teshuvah. And it says, this mitzvah, which the Ramban explains is the mitzvah of teshuvah, Rashi says it's talking about keeping the Torah mitzvot, but they're very similar. Either a life of Torah or returning to a life of Torah. Lo b'shamayim, it's not external to you in the heavens. V'lo me'ever le'yaman, you don't have to go distances. If you want to live a life of meaning, of closeness to God, where do you need to look? Ki karov elecha davar me'od beficha u'vivavcha la'asoto. Just look inside, it's in your heart. What a human being and a Jew certainly wants to do is to be close to God, to live a life of spirituality and morality, of meaning. We have a conscience. Deep within our human psyche is the neshama. And what does the neshama want to be more than anything? Chelek eloka mimal. It's a part of godliness. Our deepest desires is for closeness to Hashem, for meaning and purpose, that our lives should ultimately be lived in the most ideal way, to live a life of spiritual and moral greatness as opposed to one of inferiority and of frustration. And may we all, as we begin with these slichot, those who are beginning now, the Ashkenazim, and approaching Rosh Hashanah and the Yemei Teshuvah, to return to who we really are, return to ourselves as human beings, that deeply within our aspirations, our will, is the desire to connect to Hashem and live a life of greatness, morality, and deep spiritual meaning. Shabbat Shalom.